Good evening, Reapers. How's everyone doing?
Evening. Hello, hello.
I can't hear anything. What the hell is going on?
I can hear.
Hello,
everyone.
Stuart as well. He disappeared with like 40 seconds before we went live. I'm going to keep on. Sorry, Harry, I can't hear a word you're saying. I'm going to keep on clicking and see if I can work out what the hell has gone wrong.
Can people hear us? I'm assuming they can.
This headset definitely isn't working. We changed to.
Hello, everyone. I hope you're having a good evening. Yeah, I like the chat in the corner.
No, I can hear. It just, I don't know, I'd hit a button or something. I'm an idiot. Good evening, everybody. Let's try again. You may have noticed, those of you that can count above one, that there's only two of us. Stuart kind of went missing 40 seconds before we went live. So I'm not sure if he's coming back. We'll see. He hasn't messaged me yet. But it gives us an opportunity to go through the chat.
Hey.
Say good evening to everyone. Holy crap, there have been a lot of messages. So, good evening, John Wright.
Evening, John.
Evening, Terry. I saw you were having some woes with a pump and a convict tang. Sorry to hear that. That's not good. Good morning, Melinda.
Hello.
Top of the morning to you. Good evening, Gaza. Hope you're doing well. Hey. Good evening, Amanda. Nice to see you in here. Hope you're well.
Evening.
Hope you've got a little bevy. Who else do we got? The Man Mountain. Good evening, Dan.
Hello, Dan.
Got Lee. Good evening, Lee. Just so everybody knows, you need to message Lee tomorrow and wish him a happy birthday. Happy birthday for tomorrow, Lee. Who else have we got in? There's been a lot of comments.
Roxanne reckons you're Steve Dork now. She got the comments on the screen.
Oh, yeah. I mean, to be fair, it's better than Steve, what she last called me.
Hello, Ryan.
Ryan's Reef, good evening. Matty boy, how you doing?
Hey. Hi, Matt.
Got his new toy today, didn't he?
Oh.
Did you see?
No, don't think so.
He got his sea sweep. No, not sea sweep.
Oh, of course he did. Ocean Sea Wave.
Ocean Sea Wave, yeah.
Yeah. I'm excited to see it in motion, if you like.
Yes. Good evening, Anthony.
Hey, Anthony.
We've got Stuart just popped back in. Good evening.
That's a bit better.
Here he is.
That's much better. The audio's better. The video's better.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent. That's good. So you haven't missed much. I was just kind of rattling through all of the hellos. So we've got a way to go yet. So yeah, you've not missed anything. Good evening, Harry.
Oh, right. Okay.
Hello.
Here we go. Yeah, good evening, Liam. How you doing?
Hey, Liam.
Anyone else? Centropyge Collector.
Hello.
Lee. I want to say Lee.
I was going to say Terry.
Oh, yeah, it was Terry. Was that someone else? I said his name was John, and it turned out it was Terry.
I'm pretty sure it
Good evening, Ron. Hope you're well. Nick.
Hello, Ronald.
Good evening, Nick and Stacey. Howdy, Bernadette. Anyone else? Tim. Good evening, Tim. Hope you're well.
Tim.
James. Good evening, James. Who else do we have? Offer any more? Emma. Good evening or good afternoon, Emma.
Hey, Emma.
Harry West as well. Good evening, Harry.
Hello.
Reefy Reese. Good evening. Any more in here? We're getting close to the bottom of the list now, so hopefully we've almost got everybody. God, it's still going. Offshore Reefer, good evening. How you doing?
Good evening.
We're almost there. Rama, Banana Rama, good evening. How you doing?
Hey.
Roxanne, good evening, Roxanne. We have Dave's Reef. Evening, Dave.
Hey, Dave.
And
Did you hear it again?
It did.
The
I don't know
little-
what is going plop in your tank.
That's so strange. Every now and then it keeps going bloop.
Oh, it's Neil's birthday on Friday, so we've got
Ooh,
Lee's
please
to remember Thursday, Neil on Friday. So, what did Matt keep quiet? Hang on a minute.
His Ocean Sea Wave, I think.
Okay. Oh, it's inappropriate comments. Dave's Reef done. Kyle, evening. No, afternoon. US based. How you doing?
Evening.
Anyone else? Good evening, Anna.
Hello, Anna. That's nice of her to join.
Reaction then, you're like just looking at your phone.
Sorry. It's very important business, I assure you.
Right, we are up to date. So, Randalls Reef, take 2.
Yes, take 2. Here we go.
So, we covered, I think we started to cover a bit, but it very rapidly, the audio quality got to a point where we couldn't go through any of it. So, I guess just tell us a little bit about Randalls Reef, how long you've been running, and how you got started, really.
Yeah, I say it started 20 years ago. Yeah, little dual 180 tank, just soft corals. That one quickly got outgrown. I think I went to a 6-foot tank. That was soft corals again. Changed from that. I went to the dual corner one, the Triground 190. Something like that. And that's pretty much when it all started filling in nicely and going from there. Yeah. Shut that one down. And then started all this up here. Yeah. It just all went crazy.
So is that a custom built like outbuilding, or is it a converted garage? Or
no, it's outbuilding. Built it all myself. The only thing I didn't do was put the base down on it. So it's as I wanted it, really, as big as I wanted it, and what I could get away with.
Nice.
Yeah. It's just at the top of the garden. Yeah.
How many systems are you running in there?
There's three main coral bays up here.
Yeah.
I've got some breeding systems as well.
what are you breeding?
Clownfish and Bangor cardinals at the minute.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah, Amy wants to have a go at some seahorses. So I think that's about the next thing that we've got planned. Yeah. I've got a load of little baby clownfish behind me. Must be, I think there's about 30 in there.
Wow.
They're about 2 months old now ish.
That's cool.
Okay. That's good.
Yeah.
How many do you have in a tank?
What? Babies?
Of the babies, yeah.
All of them. They're all in the little cube.
Roughly. I'm just thinking because when I went to Aqua, I think Clownfish for you had some, and they were just like a ball, like you see on the nature programs with like sardines, and they're just in that ball. That's what they were doing constantly.
Yeah, there's a couple of them that go off and make their own little group up, but yeah, most of them are all together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Keep
I
them
see
in
we
there with
had,
the nudibranchs. So
Okay.
it doubles up as yeah. So yeah.
You breed the nudibranchs, do you?
Yeah, we do all right with them. Not too bad.
How do you find that? How do you find them quite easy to breed, or
Yeah, they are easy to breed. It's aptasia that's a problem.
sure?
Trying to keep it going.
A couple of months ago, I could have really helped you out.
Yeah, the main tank in there. I mean, the main tank's 7 foot. The sump on it's 5 foot. So I've got no aptasia in the main tank. It's just in the sump. So
Yeah,
I just go in there with the tweezers and pick it out, and then just drop it in there. Yeah.
So if you can see Harry's rock work behind him, a few months ago, every single square inch of rock, and I'm not exaggerating
Like a
here,
carpet.
it was a complete blanket over
Yeah.
everything. I've never seen it before.
It was crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. What did you use to get rid of them?
So I did put nudibranchs in there 3 times in total, possibly 3 or 4, a few times. And that was a good 10 at a time. So I spent a fortune on them. But I also have quite a large Timor wrasse. So a lot of them were probably expensive meals. I've also got peppermint shrimp, aptasia filefish, everything you can think of, I chucked at it. But I think the main solution was our Randalls, owner of Eden Corals. He has this bronze juice, we call it, which is a solution made up a couple of things, which is like a glorified calc paste. You put it on there, leave it for 25 minutes or so, and that will just eat its way through anything, really. And did a really, really good job. And then I added an Australian stripey not long after. And whilst I don't see it eating the aptasia, I notice a steady decline in the ones that are left over, because obviously with that juice, you can only put it kind of on top surfaces. You can't really get it underneath and in certain crevices. So that's kind of finishing it off. But yeah, it was a combination of loads of things, but it's 85-90% of the way there now, and I'm kind of not really too bothered about the last few bits. They're just okay.
Go over. Yeah, he'll nail them. Yeah.
Excellent. I see we've got JC's Reef with us. Good evening.
Hey, good evening.
And Tony, the one and only Tony of Digital Corals, is with us.
How you
evening,
doing?
Tony.
How we doing?
And there was a question or a suggestion here from Central Pygie Collector. Can you have a go at breeding Potter's Angels? And Gazza was saying, any tips on how to raise the clowns?
That'd be cool.
Rotifers. You need some decent phyto. Because I think when they're small, they're taking that in. So you need the really small phyto. The smaller the better. And a good culture of rotifers. And just keep them on that. And just keep the water tinted a little bit so they don't get blinded by the light. Yeah, and they'll just grow. They'll grow at a decent rate. Yeah. Keep them on that for about 10 days, and then start on baby brine.
So would you say once you've got the food source kind of sorted, the actual growing of the clowns is quite straightforward?
It's all right. Yeah, it's not a problem, man. Yeah,
nice.
Once they're a month old, they're pretty much taking any small food. I mean, we feed frozen cocoa pods and stuff like that. Definitely are. Yeah. Anything really small.
Yeah. Excellent. I see we've got Jay with us as well. Evening, Jay.
Hey, Jay.
And Ron is our resident comedian, and I've actually got a banner that I normally put up saying, if you're having fun, hit the like button. And Ron normally gives us an alternative for what will happen if you don't hit the like button. I notice he's already done it because in the comments he's put, if I can find it. There we go. Hit that like button or I'll poo on your pillow.
Quite tame this evening.
That is very tame this evening, yeah. Yeah, no more comments. So, yeah, okay, that's interesting about because I was kind of, my clownfish haven't kind of showed any signs of laying eggs or anything yet. My Banguys have danced around twice now, and one of them's ended up with like a really full mouth, but that only seems to last 2 days, and then it's gone.
Yeah, I think the first 2 or 3 that they do, I think they swallow them, to stretch the stomach out, because she'll be ready in about another 22 to 30 days. Yeah. So I think they stretch the stomach out for them. When they're small, stretch it out a bit so they've got it and they can pack in some weight on.
Yeah. So I've been thinking about, I've got a little pot on my windowsill here I'm trying to grow copepods in it, and it's not doing anything at the moment. But then when we were in a Reefy AF salty banter the other day, we were talking about it, and I think I had my airflow too high. So I had my airflow at kind of phytoculturing speed, but I was trying to grow pods. So I've turned it right down, and I'll just kind of keep an eye on it. There's still pods in it alive. So yeah, hopefully it'll be a matter of time. I've got a little, I can't think who makes it now. It's in a blue box, and it's like a circular bowl for culturing rotifers. And I got a little patch, the
little black. Yeah.
I can't think who makes it now. I bought it at AAC.
It's got like colourful packaging. I know the one you mean.
And I bought a packet of. I was thinking this, Melinda. I thought it was the TMC one, but I can't remember. I don't know. So I've got that to do as well, and I think maybe I need to have a practice at that before worrying about what the fish are actually doing.
Yeah, old water. Book it outside, and copepods will just grow. Yeah.
So bucket outside, would you have a lid on it or just open top?
Put some sort of lid on it, stop any rain going in it. Yeah, you don't want the rain going in it, watering it down. If you got any old filter floss or anything like that, just chuck that in there. And when the weather starts warming up, there's loads of them. Yeah. You ain't got to do nothing with it. You ain't got to put no air pump in it or like that. Just leave it alone. Yeah.
Excellent. Yeah, I've just seen Roxanne's comment as well. So the comments have gone through so quickly that I can't go back to it now. Roxanne, he always beats me to it. A little bit of innuendo for the early evening.
You'd think with Matt's background, he's
working for Love Honey. So what kind of really lit that fire for you with corals? Because I would say corals is certainly, if I looked at Randalls Reef from outside, everything screams coral to me.
Oh yeah. Fish. I like the fish that I've got, but yeah, it's the corals really. I've done soft, I've done the sticks, doing the SPS. So I think the front room one, the main one in there, kind of got used as an holding tank for a long time while we were getting all this set up here. So it's kind of been ripped to bits, so I can get some of the stuff out that I don't want in there no more, and just open it all back up a bit.
Yeah.
I think just changing it around. Like, I've been doing it 20 years, so kind of getting stuck doing one thing and then getting bored of it. So I think if you change it, you go for something else. And it kind of keeps it alive a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah.
What would you kind of attain the success of growing coral to? Why do you think you're having so much success in those holding tanks?
Just keeping on top of the numbers, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. These are all ran bare bottom. So these run a lot cleaner than the main tank.
Yeah.
And stuff up here opens up really nice. So I'm thinking maybe I got to try and get the nutrients down on the main one a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah.
And do you have like a favorite group of coral that you prefer to work with?
No, not really. I like them all, really. Yeah, I like a bit of everything.
Yeah. That's quite surprising because normally everyone's got like, have you got a favourite? Like, yeah, this one. Whether it's torches or gonnies or sticks or whatever it is, they've got a very clear, absolutely, I love this. But yeah, I think that's the first person I've heard that said, no, I like them all.
Yeah, I mean, there's always, we went nuts going after all the names always years ago. Then a couple of years ago for all the sticks, getting all the different sticks in. Yeah, so just keep changing it, I think. Yeah, there's always something new coming out. I mean, I've always liked the balance mushrooms. So yeah, but Gonnies is doing a lot now. There's some nice colours coming in at the minute. Yeah, there's some nice colours coming in. Yeah, just like your greens and reds before. There's like rainbow ones coming in now and a lot of different colours.
Yeah, Gonnies are my kryptonite. Yeah. I mean, pretty much any coral's my kryptonite because I can't seem to go anywhere near an establishment that sells coral without buying coral. But
it's just being in the hobby, isn't it?
Yeah, but Gonnies are just stunning. I absolutely love them.
Yeah. I think the challenge of them makes them somewhat appealing as well. But mind you, my personal experience with Gonnies is some you'll get that just don't, they're just not happy.
Okay.
But that could be me being a bad reef keeper. But I've found that some will be absolutely loving life. Like for example, I've got 4 here that are flowing, loving life, and I've just got one that's just always closed up. And it's just that one.
Yeah. Is it getting wound up by the other ones?
Quite possibly. They're on the same rock. They're as far apart as I could get them on the rock, but I suspect that if I move
some of them don't let the others open up, especially if you've got a bigger one at the top.
Yeah, I have.
Kind of shadows them out.
That's what we were saying about amazeballs, wasn't it? That they really like being separate from any other Gonnies.
My amazeballs is bang in the middle of everything. Bang in the middle of everything. Yeah.
Just goes to show
on each side. Yeah. And everything else is opened up down there. But yeah, I think once you've had them for a bit and they're in your system for a bit, they kind of get used to it.
Yeah.
Where are you? Your lighting, feeding, and stuff like that. Yeah. Derby.
Okay. Yeah.
See, Gaz has said that your gold hammers caught his eye, so his reserve one.
Yes. Nice. He's asked me to put one for a side for him. Yeah.
And Jay says that he's been, looking on the website and says that they all look really nice as well.
Nice.
And I think the way I found you was in TikTok, and just scrolling through the TikTok and just we've got a very similar taste in music.
90s dance tunes.
90s dance music, very similar to all of my TikToks. And awesome corals, love it. Yeah. And then you have a question from Liam. He's wondering whether Paddington's marmalade sandwiches get soggy being so close to the tank.
That's Amy's little hobby. Paddington, dinosaur, there's an octopus somewhere.
Okay. Do you have any kind of not secret sauce, but like top tips probably for people? You know, we were talking a minute ago about gonnies that are struggling. Any kind of general coral top 10 tips or anything like that?
I feed live. I like the live food.
Yeah.
So the rotifers, if you looked at rotifers, it's really tiny food. So all the tanks get rotifers all the time. Phytoplankton, grow that. So I've got that all the time. Yeah, that's. But it's just a cupful chucked in of a like rotifers, maybe about 50 mil. Phytoplankton, yeah. But I think you got to kind of build up to it. You can't just go bang it all in, or you'll end up with all problems.
Yeah. So Roxanne's offering a top tip. Bit of a dig at me. Top tip: don't add fish into your tank that eat the coral.
That helps.
Yeah. In my defence, I thought that I have so much coral in my tank. If it took like a little bite out of one, and then a little bite out of a different one, and then a different one,
you'll be all right.
One, it would spread the load out, and everything would be okay. I mean, maybe it wouldn't look amazing, but nothing would die. But I was very, very wrong. So
yeah.
But at least you caught it quick.
Yes, yeah, I lost a button scully and a Wilsoni. Yeah, the Wilsoni was hard. That was starting to really take off and look really nice. But it took a liking to those two. It was a bicut angel.
Had a big fox face that just annihilated all the zoas. It was fine when he was little. I mean, he must have been like 4-year-old. He was going to be 6 or 7 inch. Yeah. But I think once he got to a big size, he was just hungry all the time.
Yeah.
I think they're all right while they're small, but when they start getting a bit bigger, yeah.
Yeah. Angels have got good taste.
Your plants are still looking good, Steve.
What? Sorry?
Your plants behind you still looking good?
Yeah. Ron will be impressed. I've kept them alive.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I gave him a little spray with the mist stuff that he was.
Nice.
Yeah. So yeah, hopefully they'll just grow and keep on living. The other plant that I had did not fare so well. But I was talking to Ron about it. He said to me, might survive, but if it was a relative, I'd say time to say your goodbyes.
Oh dear.
So your tanks that you've got behind you there, Stuart, do you have them separated into like LPS, SPS, etc. in each one?
Yeah. LPS is the 4-foot one. So it's torches, hammers, frog spawns. It's got lobos in there. Candy canes, blastos. That's pretty much for that one. The other one is a mixture one. So it's pavias, acans, gonnies, mushrooms. Yeah, just a right mix of all sorts. And then the one behind there is the Zoas and the Acros, really.
Yeah.
Powder blue I spotted in there as well.
Yeah.
Nice.
I got him from the fish shop. He weren't really feeding at the fish shop. So he says, "Yeah, take him, see if we can feed him up."
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
What are you dosing into both of them? And is it the same for both tanks?
Yeah, same for all tanks. Fauna Marine, the powder stuff. Yeah.
Nice.
Okay.
Yeah, I've been on that for about 5 years. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. We had a question earlier in the chat about your lights. What lights are you running?
Evergrows. On these ones up here, it's all Evergrows. The main tank is Hydro 52s. The display one in here is Hydro 52s. But the Evergrows, I went because it's only one plug.
Yeah.
You only need one plug, and it's 5 foot spread. You know. So, yeah, I don't think you can go wrong with them, really.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
they
think
look nice.
They do. Most modern lights now are going to grow coral, I think. It's like the discussion we were having about the Reef LEDs. Like, they're a bit cheaper, but they're growing coral really well, at least in my limited experience. But, yeah. What about flow? What are you using for flow in there?
Flow, mainly big return pumps.
Nice.
With loads of nozzles.
Yeah.
Dotting it off here, there, and everywhere.
Yeah, nice. Have you got some of those little random flow things on them?
No, it's like the duckbill ones. So you know the flat ones.
Yeah. And then you can just point them where.
Yeah, I can just point it wherever I want it. Then if I want it to blast down at the bottom for a bit, it can do.
Oh, got another question from Liam. Any advice for getting medication out of a reef tank? A mate of his, definitely not Liam, added flubendazole. I'm like, I don't know if that's how you say it or spell it. And now, 4 months later, all the snails he puts in die.
There's a polypad.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. Are they polyfilter?
Something like that.
Polypad, it comes out with horse numbness.
And I think it changes colour as well to what it's pulling out. Yeah.
When it's
I think I can have some. Yeah.
What about doing like a nice.
Yeah.
This is completely anecdotal, I'm guessing here, so I don't know. But like one of those, like the coral snow type stuff. Doesn't that help stuff bind for the skimmer to then remove? I don't know if that would work on medication.
Yeah, I don't know. And I don't know whether the medication leaches into the rock and the sand.
Right.
And then
it might not be
comes back out. Yeah, so it might be that you treat everything in the water, you get rid of it that's waterborne, and then it'll come back out of the rocks.
Yeah.
When there's enough space for it to come back out again, it comes out. Yeah. Yeah, we had a couple of suggestions. Lots of water changes, lots of carbon, and polyfilter, or Pure It by Brightwell.
Yeah. Not heard of that.
No, I haven't either. Yeah, the Brightwell stuff's pretty good though, from experience.
Yeah,
it's stuff I've used. So if someone's kind of just getting into the hobby, what would be your kind of recommended first 5 corals or something?
Zoas. I think Zoas. There's loads of colours.
That's good. Cool.
Whatever colour you want. Yeah. Put it low down and just start from there. You'll see it grow. You'll be happy, and then you can move on to something else higher up the rock.
Yeah. I'm trying to think. I think I started with some mushrooms and candy cane.
Yeah.
Interesting. Do you do like a coral pack that you sell?
I think Amy's done a torch one on there. I think there's one on there for the Zoas as well. It's just like a mystery box. Yeah.
I just wondered whether you did something like that, where it's like, 5 random corals, small, medium, large, or low end, mid end, and high end, or whatever, something like that.
Yeah.
Central Pyggy says, "Don't most people start with Aptasia?" So you were mentioning earlier about breeding nudies as well. Any tips with that? Because I know Harry tried that recently and had a bit of a struggle with it.
Yeah, it's just
What, breeding them?
Yeah, it worked, and I got the egg spirals, and I saw them occasionally, but it's just as if they fizzled out. And obviously, I had enough aptasia, so I'm not really sure what to put it down to. But I just gave up in the end.
Yeah, as long as there's no predators in there, that's gonna.
It might have been.
Amphipods, they'll nail them.
Yeah.
There's when they're little. Yeah, they're not too bad when they get bigger. Yeah.
What's that? So amphipods can eat the baby nudibranchs, can they?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Okay.
We had them in there, so I siphon it all out. Siphon it out like once a month and just get rid of any. They're always there. They always pop up, don't they?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So we just siphon them out. Just keep it all. It's not too bad because the clownfish are in there, so it kind of feeds the aptasia that's in there as well. It kind of all keeps it going around.
Yeah. Just moved. Got Jason with us this evening. Good afternoon, Jason.
Oh, good.
He's probably driving home from work swearing at every other person on the road at the moment. That's his normal MO for joining these. Do you have any, if someone's got like a reef tank, do you have any kind of recommended stockings to go with it? I mean, obviously we can add, don't put a bicolour angel to the list, but any kind of inverts or fish that you would kind of pair up or recommend for someone starting in the hobby?
No, I think you got to kind of go for what you want to go for. Like what you like. If it works, it works. If it don't, then move on to something else.
So what about specifically for? Sorry,
some things just don't work. Yeah, just some things just don't get on in your tank. Yeah.
What about more specifically for a coral system? Any sort of utilitarian fish or creatures that you wouldn't go without?
Clowns. I think clowns. Everybody wants a clownfish in the tank when they start.
Yeah.
Some sort of tang just keeps the rockwork clean.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. You want fish that are going to work for you as well. They're going to look nice. They're also going to do a job.
Yeah. I had a sailfin tang. It didn't touch anything on the rockwork.
Yeah.
And I didn't realise how bad it was at picking the rockwork until I got rid of it and got a mimic tang.
Yeah.
And I put a mimic tang in there, and it is ploughing through constant. I've got a purple tang now as well, and they actually swim around together, annihilating everything. They'll pick all the algae growing off the conch shells as the conches are like trying to crawl across there. They're kind of grazing off of the shell, and they're really constantly at it.
Yeah, myself in that I've got in the main one. He was a nightmare when he was little. Constantly coming up, whacking you. Yeah, they were horrible. It wasn't until he got to a decent size and he just kind of chilled out then.
Yeah, okay, that's interesting.
I mean, it might be the other way around.
Yeah, mine beat up. Well, it started a fight with my first copper band, and then the copper band then had a run-in with my foxface. I then got rid of my foxface so that it wouldn't expire that way. And when I got the second copper band, everything was fine. And then one day I came in and it was in the corner and it had been beaten to death, basically, by the sailfin again. So he had to go.
Yeah, it can be good.
Yeah. So I looked on your website, you have little crocheted animals.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
Let me,
That's Amy's hobby bit. That
Oh,
is.
do you know, I did see something crochet, actually. Now you mention it.
yeah, let me share.
That seems to be an ongoing theme, doesn't it, recently?
Yes. Yeah, there we go. Look.
Oh, brilliant.
Little crocheted creations.
Nice.
And
Yeah.
And then I noticed you had your phyto and rotifers and bits on there as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, interesting to kind of try and crack that. Certainly the kind of copepod side of it, because going to the LFS and buying 8 pouches of copepods each week is very expensive.
Crazy. Yeah.
Copepods are what I honestly find the more you try, the less yield, if you like, you get. Just let them.
That's what I say. You just got to leave them alone, and that's it. Yeah. And they're quite happy.
Yeah, I saw all sorts of things on either Reef to Reef or Ultimate Reef. I can't remember. I think it might have been Ultimate Reef, and they were just like, "Oh yeah, get a bucket, dig a hole, sink the bucket into the hole, throw a banana skin in, and then forget about it."
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
I think because we're so used to things being so structured and numbers being so perfect and dosing 2 milliliters of something every day and being so pristine with everything, that we try and consume so many YouTube videos and the best ways and the best practices, which I went through so many times. Don't get me wrong, I'm not growing them like yourself, but yeah, as soon as I just left them alone, some cultures have literally just got in a jug and just leave them, no air, nothing.
Yeah.
I feed them very occasionally with phyto. But
yeah, I mean, my tubs are outside all year round.
Yeah.
So when the weather starts warming up, you can see them and they just bounce back.
Yeah. Excellent. Yeah, don't worry, Roxanne. You're still my crochet supplier. She crocheted me one of everything that I'd killed.
Oh, right.
Yeah, it's a birthday present. Yeah.
This is a nice little reminder.
Yeah,
there you go.
Everything you've killed. Where's my notes gone? So yeah, your website mentions 3D printed accessories with your crocheted stuff. Are you 3D printing as well, or?
Yeah, I am. I think Amy's took it off at the minute though, because 3D printing stuff for myself at the minute. So yeah, I've only got the one printer. So yeah.
What printer?
Some of the
got?
stuff just takes ages. To, and 6.
Okay.
Ender.
Yeah. Harry's the resident 3D printer with with this live stream, but I do have a 3D printer myself. I printed some Abyss wave cannon holders, one for one of the guys that was part of the hobby, and for Paul at AAC in Harlow. And he mentioned the other day that because it's in a shallow coral tray in the shop, it's getting close to squirting water out at customers.
The video of that was phenomenal to see that all from that one cannon. Oh wow, yeah. That's a very different design.
So this is a wedge that goes underneath the mount. So I made the mount with a keyway in it, so I could bring the wedges off to change the angle.
Smart.
So I gave him a 5-degree wedge to reduce. It was sat at 18 degrees, I think, and I gave him a 5-degree wedge to reduce it to 13. And this is, I believe, a 10-degree wedge. And I'm going to print an 18-degree wedge. So you can use the 18-degree and have no, have it completely flat, or you can use this one and the other one and have a little bit of angle, or this one and have a little bit more angle. And that way it should be reasonably flexible.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
So, I quite like the ability to just 3D print something.
It's crazy.
Just get something in your head and think, no, we'll have a go at that.
Yeah. So I was looking at, someone sent some coral to me, and they were not coral frags. They were big.
Coral frags.
Yeah, they were like, they were big. So I kind of went through a prototyping stage of taking my design, or what was in my head, and kind of evolving that design a little bit. So I kind of went something like this.
Yeah.
That is, is definitely going to do it. And then, I kind of smoothed all the edges out, made it a little bit smaller. Then, taking a bit more out, make it there. And then I've kind of got to this point now where I've got a frag plug in there as well.
Yeah.
Just to kind of, reduce the filament, reduce the print time, so it's faster. But still kind of really robust, so that nothing can.
So that the coral colonies.
Yeah.
How long did that
Sorry,
take?
what's that, Stuart?
How long did it take?
This one was 2 hours, I think. 2 hours 20. This one was 11 and a half hours.
Yeah.
But the Abyss foam cannon that I made, the foam cannon mount, that I had to actually cut it into two and then print it in two halves because it wouldn't actually fit on my printer.
In the printer.
And each half was 12 and a half hours.
Yeah. What printer are you using?
I'm using a P1S Bamboo Labs.
Yeah. They're pretty fast as well, I think.
Yes. Yeah. And you can print faster as well. I usually just kind of print overnight slowly, and then you get really good quality. But if you want something quick, you can just put it into ludicrous mode, and it's so quick it can print some stuff, and the quality is still pretty decent. So but it's interesting because when you get to printing things like this that you have to put inside a reef tank, you have to do them very dense as well, because otherwise they float. What other questions did I have in here? Well, actually, before I go to any more questions, let's see if I can put on some videos that you sent me.
I was going to say, it'd be nice to see him close up.
So I think this is what frags you've got in at the moment.
Wow.
Yeah, those torches look fantastic, don't they? They blast those at the front there.
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh yeah, those gold hammers look nice, don't they?
Yeah, you can see where you got one, can't you?
Yeah. Oh yeah, the frog spawn looks really nice as well.
Oh, yes.
Frog spawn. Yeah, nice big heads. Yeah.
The colours as well.
Yeah, this one here is particularly bright, isn't it?
We can't see your mouse, I don't think.
Oh, okay.
But they're all bright.
Yeah.
Can you still hear that popping? I'm so confused.
Yes.
What is that? I don't even know what it could be. Both the skimmers are off. I have no idea.
Fish at the top. Is it a fish at the top?
No, it's not. And it's like it's consistent. The only fish that tends to go at the top is the wrasse, and I imagine he's in bed now.
Yeah, some beautiful colours there.
Yeah, we've got, let's say, go for a bit of everything.
The gonnies.
Really. Oh, here come the gonnies.
Gonnies on the website took a right hammering.
Wow. Guys, big polyps on that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I see you go, and then I have to check the comments. Nice.
Yeah, that looks amazing, doesn't it?
That's a good question. Emma's asked about the par.
Yes. Yeah, what kind of par are you running?
I'm not sure. I've not tested it. I've tested the main tank, and that's silly because it used to have sticks in it. So it's around 800 par around the top, around 300 down the bottom. But there's a lot of light on that main one. But these ones up here, I think blues I run at 8 UV 8 try and keep it all around at 8 apart from the other blue. The other blue I turn down a little bit because it kind of washes the royal blue out.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got some big heads on those Zoas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you not
run
Sorry, do you not run whites?
No,
just
not
because they're going to grow algae, kind of thing, I guess.
Yeah, I don't run the up here. The main one does, but not up here.
That's more for that's a display tank, isn't it? I suppose.
Yeah, I mean the acros in here are still growing. They're doing all right, nice and full there. Yeah.
They do look lovely.
Oh. Are those frag racks 3D printed?
Yeah.
Yeah, nice.
So I've done like a smaller one at the front and then a bigger one behind it.
Yeah. Have you seen the ones that they have longer legs at the back than the front?
Yeah. Yeah, so it kind of slopes.
Yeah, and I noticed at I can't remember if it was Top Shelf or the other one that WWC that Drippy and Tom went to, but they actually had the racks vertical on the back wall, and they had threads slid into them, and they still were growing fine. I would have thought maybe that would have been a bit of a challenge, but what's this green one kind of right on the right hand side of the screen here? Green and yellow. Kind of got three or four of them in a row.
Are we acros or
no, sorry, on the bottom right frag rack there, you've got a kind of teal blue and dark blue.
Oh, the sunset, yes.
And then
Sunset
next to it,
Monte.
you've got the green and yellow. Sunset, are they? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're nice. Nice colours.
Yeah, got the beach one behind it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Some powers in there as well, but I think a bit further over. Yeah.
Yeah. You worked out what it is, Harry?
I think it could be something to do with the auto water change between the tanks.
Okay.
I think maybe where the skimmer's been spewing out bubbles when it was on, it sucked in air from this one, and it's now delivering that air to the other one. Maybe because it sounds as if the boot come from that one. So yeah.
I wasn't sure whether it might have just been Anna going.
Yeah, it does sound like that, doesn't it? Have you heard those stories where people's partners have like put a bucket of water on the floor just to keep their partner away from them for a while because they're trying to work out where it's come from.
No.
No, I don't know where I saw or read that, but I thought it was brilliant. But yeah,
But the trouble is now you cannot use that because you'll know.
I don't know. I think we'd all still be checking for a good amount of time.
Right. What other videos have we got? Now, I don't know. Let me just see. Can I change the view? Yeah, there we go. So if I go straight to this one, I think. Is this like a display tank?
Wow. Look at that.
That is looking
so this
amazing.
is the one up here. Yeah.
Bonnie.
So it's only about 3 months old up here, that one.
Wow.
Okay. It's looking good for 3 months old.
Bare bottom as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
Was that a Gonny I saw far right?
Yeah, there's some more
orangey
coming.
looking.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, look at that. Yeah. Go.
Bounce.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, they do look lovely, don't they?
So sorry, this is more of a display, is it? This one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, this used to be the old frag tank listed. This is the one that we used to have in the house. Yeah.
And is that running the same lights as the others?
No, this has got Hydro 52s on.
Yeah, okay. God, that Ghani with the smaller heads at the back there looks nice. On the right, the one with the yellow tips and the purple.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, that orange one's lovely. Lots of torches.
Oh,
yeah, that is
that's
amazing.
something else, isn't it? Bloody hell. What is that with the long polyps? Is that GSP?
No.
Just below the Gonny. What's that? Or is that like a
highlighter? Highlighter.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
I've never seen
is.
one like that.
That's mad.
I don't know if you hear it every time, but it's
I do. Yeah, we do hear it every time.
I'm so confused.
Was that some kind of like plate coral or something over the back here?
No, some massive.
Or is it a nem? Yeah,
yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
I thought it was just a massive long tentacle plate coral then.
You see Terry's comment.
Yeah. You could fit a whole load more corals in there. I mean, I can see space. Look, there's loads. And I think we've got one more video because the other video is just your frag tank from last week.
From last time, yeah.
So this is the last one then.
Whoa.
Wow, is that jack-o'-lantern in the middle there? That's a really big patch of jack-o'-lantern if it is.
It is.
Wow.
And it was brought about 4 or 5 years ago. About the size of your nail. Yeah, it was tiny when I brought it. Yeah.
Nice.
It's got to be about the size of a dinner plate now.
I always say to people that every tank needs some jack-o'-lantern in it because and I think it's overlooked quite a lot, but it's such a stunning coral.
Yeah. So bright. Yeah.
It's always going to be one of the brightest in your tank.
Yeah.
Wow, this is incredibly humbling. That is incredible. You must get absolutely lost in there.
Yeah.
Yeah. that a little 3D printed creation there?
Yeah, they were all over before all this come up here. So I used to have them all over the place.
You've got a nice you've got a nice pattern to that, Monty. A nice
Yeah, it's really nice, isn't it?
Did you do anything to do that?
No,
or was that
it just grew like that. I think it had been chucked in the back corner for probably about a year. Yeah, and it just kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger.
That pectinia looks nice as well.
Yeah.
How long have you had the copper band in there?
Around 5 years.
Wow. Don't hear that often.
No. I think we've got one in here. He's probably about 5 months as well.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah. But I've got all the live food, so I think that helps.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, putting all the live food in from.
Have you got you got some mushrooms? I was going to ask, have you got any softies on there? You got zoas? Have you got any leathers or anything like that?
Any what?
Leathers or anything of that?
No leathers in there.
And what I saw a gyre at one end there, is that?
Yeah, there's one on one end, one on the other. Yeah.
Okay. What gyres are they?
Jacob ones.
Okay.
Wow.
The 55s, I think. They're probably about they're probably about 5 year old. Yeah, it was all pretty much set up.
Just those in the return,
and
is
it's been left. Yeah, just those in the return.
Wow.
Yeah, there's nothing much in there. Big skimmer. Phosphate remover. A filter floss. That's about it. Big Cheeto.
Okay.
Space. Yeah, but that's it. So it runs pretty simple.
Yeah, I'm just going to play this one again because it looks so nice.
Yeah.
Harry, Emma has got a question in the chat for you.
Yes. Anything, hit me up. Anything you can dream of, we'll get it done. You can use acrylic as well.
So you did. Jamie's in acrylic, didn't you?
Yeah, that was hybrid. Part acrylic, part 3D print.
And was Tony's the same?
Pretty much. Differed slightly, but it's the same sort of thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited to see Tony's in his tank because I've got I want to share it, but I've got kind of my photos from home just on my phone. And then it'll be nice to see it in place
with lots of coral on it.
Yeah, it looks really cool with his X coral nodes on. So I printed some so I could see what they look like on there. And they look really cool.
Yeah, that's good. Gaza says, can you go to his and make his reef look like that?
Yeah. Can we all just have you over?
Yeah, this one over that Ghani on the right over the back with the purple stem and the yellow tips. Yeah, that is something special.
Yeah, it comes out long, but it's thin. It's really thin.
Do you sell that?
I will do when it grows. Yeah. Same as anything that's in there. Yeah.
Steve, we've got to get best buddies.
Yeah. Yeah, I can drive to rugby. That's fine. Yeah, that is just looking amazing.
There is nothing in there that is unhappy.
Yeah.
That pink on there, yeah. That pink one has been shut up for a couple of days. I chopped the purple one back a little bit. The purple one's been chopped back a little bit because I think it's just wafting on it a little bit too much.
How is it the frag?
Pretty easy. I've got the saw, so yeah.
Yeah.
They're all right with a saw. If you've got a Dremel, maybe a little bit more fiddler, but you'd be able to do it. Yeah. I try and take take the top of the dome off.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then the top grows back again quite quickly.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's interesting because when I've fragged a couple, but I basically just chopped them into 4.
Yeah.
But yeah, maybe taking the top off's a better way of kind of they'll probably grow back quicker.
Yeah. The skin just covers it over. It don't really take that long. Maybe a couple of months and it's all covered up.
Yeah, excellent. You can see another one of these gonnies with the extra long tentacles at the end of the polyp.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's just a normal green one, that is. I've had that one for
Just
a
extra
long
happy.
time. Yeah. But that
It's
highlight,
phenomenal, isn't it?
yeah, that's got some right long ones on it.
All the torches are nice and extended as well.
Yeah, it's this one here, isn't it? That
Yeah.
the extension. I think because
It's a little curvature on the ends.
Yeah, because it's so long at the tip, but the head is kind of quite close to the body still.
Yeah.
It does look a lot like GSP, doesn't it?
GSP. Yeah.
So Lee, the one-armed reef, is asking what salt you use and what's your water change regime.
Water changes, don't really do them up here. Don't really do them down on the main one. I used to do them all the time. Salt that I'm using is Nios. I'm using their salt. Yeah, it's keeping everything happy.
Excellent. Yeah, I do love the Nios salt.
The frag tank up here, they all kind of get a little water change with it when you sell a frag. You know what I mean? You've got to put that little bit of salt back in it. Yeah, so they all get like a little water change.
Yeah, I suppose it's different when you're kind of like almost like a retail side where you're constantly packing stuff up.
Sure.
It naturally gets quite a decent water change anyway.
Yeah, every day. Yeah, every day there's a little water change.
How often are you testing?
Once a week.
Yeah.
Levels are pretty much all the same, to be fair. I try to keep them all the same. So I ain't got to mess around with anything.
Are you aiming for more like... Sorry, go on.
It's easier to spot something. So if I do a test or Amy does a test, then we know if someone's off or not. Yeah, it doesn't matter who does the test. Yeah.
Yeah, nice. Yeah. Level wise, is anything elevated? Are you running kind of natural levels? Where are you at with that?
Yeah, pretty much natural. Alkalides are around 8.5, 9.
Yeah, nice.
Calcium about 450.
Yeah.
Magnesium 1,450.
Okay.
Yeah. Phosphate on the main one's a little bit higher. That's around 0.10. These up here are around 0.45, 0.05. Yeah.
Excellent. See, we've got Nowhere Man with us this evening. Good evening. So he hasn't had a saltwater tank in 20 plus years.
Oh, wow.
I'd say now is a great time to get another one.
Absolutely. Certainly is.
You know where to buy your coral from.
Yeah. I think we've all been saying recently in the hobby, it's just taken a bit of a turn. And there's lots of this and lots of community and it's great.
Yeah, there's lots of nice books. We've got a Wednesday night live stream, obviously the number one live stream on YouTube.
Oh yeah.
Then you've got another one on Friday night. You've got one Sunday morning. You've got one Sunday night.
Sunday evening, yeah.
And then sometimes AAC does one on a Thursday. And I think there's another one coming soon. And iReef does one every Friday, don't they, with their stock in? I think theirs is more of a kind of walk around the store showing you what's in.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's lots of people doing lives and making videos and content now, which is, hopefully helping people, inspire people to join the hobby.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it was interesting visiting TMC recently. They're really kind of trying to kind of look out for this next generation of reef keepers and how to inspire people to bring them in. And I keep thinking about it, how can us as social media people help kind of bring on the next generation of reef keepers. I kind of take the mindset of, watch me. If I can do it, you can do it easily, especially when because I don't edit out my mistakes. If something's gone terribly wrong, I'll make a video on it and say, look, this went terribly wrong and this is why. Which I know some people are a bit like precious about Instagram and things like that. They want it to only look immaculate. But look at me. I can't be that worried about looks, can I? Otherwise I'd never leave the house. So what's the plans for Randalls Reef? What's coming in the future?
I don't know yet. I'm not sure. I say this has just opened up, so we're going to get this a good go up here, and then who knows? I'm not sure.
Yeah. What clownfish are you breeding? Designers or?
I've got all different sorts. So the ones that are bred at the minute, I've got the babies for. They was, I think, snowflakes. I've got some that are about 8 days old that are just black and white ones. We missed a load the other day. They were just your normal orange ones. They all hatched a day earlier than what they were supposed to. So that was food.
And where can you purchase your clowns? Are they going into retail stores or would you sell them yourself?
Yeah, I'll probably take them to the retail stores.
Yeah, nice.
Just take them in there. Get a tub of salt or whatever.
Dude.
Yeah, I seen Ron's comment that no, I didn't film the haircut. I know it's the. I was saying that if something goes horribly wrong, I'll film it.
Right.
Yeah.
But no, I mean it's just grey and naff looking all the time. So.
Not all the time. Sometimes it's red.
Yeah, sometimes it's bright red, isn't it? Yeah.
I'm getting a bit concerned about that noise. That is not a noise I've ever heard coming from my tank. And that doesn't fill me with comfort.
Why don't you sign into Neptune and stop your water change pumps and see if the bubble popping stops, and then you'll know what it is at least. Maybe it's the silicon slowly failing around the edge of the front pane.
Stop it. Oh gosh. I'm just going to be tsunami'd into the screen in a minute.
My lot says he would love a tank with a big carpet nem and a harem of clowns.
Yeah, nice. That's what I'm debating for the upstairs black tank. Yeah.
If you go to the Horniman Museum in South London, they've got a series of tanks there, and one of them is split into 3 bays, and one of the bays has got this massive carpet nem in and about 15, 20 clownfish. It looked really nice.
Yeah. I
You
used to
don't
have a
see
big
that
carpet
often.
now, in one of my 6-foot tanks. And I brought a blue cheek goby, put it in, and it swam straight into it and just went. And that was it. It was a goner.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. They're so sticky. Carpet names.
Yeah. Yeah. So how we talked about what you were feeding earlier. How frequently do you feed the corals and the tanks?
Every day. Yeah. So
Just once a day?
Everything gets fed every day. They get frozen food around 8 o'clock. They get pellets in the morning, and then they get lotties at night time.
Yeah. Okay. So
What
you
pellets are you
feed.
feeding? Sorry.
What's that, Harry?
Which pellets are you feeding?
Just a mixture of all sorts, really.
Yeah. Yeah, nice.
I see we have.
It's just a
Amy
mixture of
with us.
pellets. Small ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so use the small ones so that polyps, the corals can get hold of them if they want them. Some of the bigger ones.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not. I mean, that's quite a bit of food, and
Yeah.
you know your nutrients were at a pretty good level. So it's you've either got very good filtration or a lot of that is being consumed.
Mm.
So.
Yeah, I think because it's live as well, it's not too bad.
Yeah.
I mean the frozen stuff and that. I've got one of them squirty bottles, so it probably gets 10 blocks, 10 frozen blocks, but split between all the tanks, so they all get like a squirty book.
Yeah. Okay. That popping noise is still happening, Harry.
It is. It was quieter though, I think. Gonna give it a few more pops before I get too concerned.
Lee said it sounds like something dripping.
Yeah, I know what you mean, but I'm quite confident it's a bubble pop. I think.
I mean,
it won't be now. It'll be dripping.
That's a big bubble pop.
Yeah. What could be dripping though? There's nowhere for water to drip into. Have I got a leak in the? Maybe perhaps Hannah's in the bath. I just got bloop.
What other questions did I have written down? I think I've actually kind of ploughed through most of my questions. I did have a little look in the news. Let me share my screen again. So the only thing I could really find in the news was this new ninja coral platform. Hang on a minute.
Yeah,
is
we
that
can
sharing
just see
the
a
right
tangent
thing?
at the minute.
Yeah, that's strange. Go back to that. And then back to there. There we go.
Oh wow.
Yeah, that was weird.
Oh yeah.
This kind of coral platform, I think it's like modular and you can bolt all different things to it, but that looks a bit crazy.
That reminds me. Do you remember the game Mousetrap? Was it?
Yes.
That reminds me of that.
Yeah.
That's cool though.
So yeah, I mean that was really the only thing that I could find in the news.
Very cool.
The other thing that I wanted to talk about, and I have to stop sharing, so I need to share with audio, is it was Rob, the pelagic swimmer Rob, shared a link to a video on the Reef AF Discord, and I was watching it, and it really shocked me. So it's about it's called Catching Nemo, I think, the real Nemo story, or something like that.
Yeah.
And it's about this stinking rich couple that have got a yacht and they're sailing around the world, but they stopped in Indonesia in a storm, and they ended up meeting up with these other people on another boat, and they were collecting fish for the aquarium hobby, and they basically they filmed the process. And at one point, and this is the point where I started playing, they were harvesting fish from 20-ish meters down, and they would bag them up, bring them straight to the surface, chuck them in this bucket, and then they would have to very quickly go through and pop them to let the air out, because the air had expanded, because they used to be 20 meters. And I thought, wow, how horrific is that? Why can't they just kind of stop halfway or bring them up very slowly or something? But let me do this.
They're literally just using little hoses, aren't they, to breathe through?
Clearly, I was wrong to think that the ornamental fish would not be down that deep. But the fact that the fish have been brought up from depth causes a problem. The air in the fish expands as they are brought up, and as soon as they are brought on board, the crew go to work with small needles to let the air out of those cavities before it kills the fish. Some of the fish need their guts pushing back in with a matchstick. Amazingly, the vast majority of fish survive this trauma, and then it's time to bag them up for storage on board.
The fish are separated in...
I thought that was absolutely horrific, if I'm honest.
Yeah, I appreciate you sharing that, because I think it's easy to sing the praises, isn't it, of our hobby?
And these were probably one of the better collectors because they weren't collecting with dynamite and cyanide.
Yeah.
But Jesus, I mean, just for the sake of bringing them up slower.
Yeah, I was talking to Lee the other day about the Oata speech the other day, and as much as I value and think they're great, I wish it was a little bit more of a conversation that was had or looked at from a more of a objective, subjective kind of standpoint, because it was very much our hobby's really good. This is what it helps. It helps mental health. It helps this. It helps that. And there was no contradiction. And I would have liked to hear kind of more of a conversation about it and more of a well-rounded discussion, I think. But I really want to clarify, I'm all for Oata, and I think they're doing brilliant stuff.
Yeah.
But personally, I think a conversation can be more positive, I guess, in a way.
Yeah, I think the challenge is with the people that you're having those discussions with. If you're Oata, the people that are the other side of that conversation
are 100%,
they would not deviate. They are 100% in the other direction. So if you gave them anything, gave them anything, they'd be like, look, even they agree with us.
Yeah.
So I see why they're doing it. I get what you mean. And I think if you were in one of these scenarios where you see both sides of the argument, you would get your well-rounded presentation.
Yeah. I suppose that's more of a hobbyist versus, they're the professionals that are fighting a cause. And that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. But so I didn't have any, I didn't have any other news. I didn't have any other little topics to drop. I've kind of gone through all my questions. But one thing we didn't really do is talk about what we've been up to this week in the hobby. We kind of skipped over that bit. So we'll go to you first, Stuart. What's your last week been like, reefing wise?
Gunnies. Chopped some gunnies up. Yes, I've done some amaze balls, some purple ones. And we had all the frog spawners and hammers come in. So that's what we've been doing. Yeah. Busy packing orders. Amy gets to do that. I'm off out at work. That's all happening. So that falls on her. Busy. It's been busy. It's been the last month really. The website's really started picking up, getting more members on it. So
Yeah,
It's been a good month this week.
Yeah, that's always good to hear. It's always nice to hear businesses succeeding. You know, we hear so much about businesses going under and businesses struggling, and you know, as reef shops closing. I'm really lucky. My local reef shop has doubled in size just recently. Although pretty much all of the expansion is freshwater. But he's keeping, he's keeping all of the saltwater stuff that he had before, and he has slightly expanded the saltwater as well. So, I think it's really positive news. I see we had a couple of other people sneak in as well.
Pit Parry.
Yeah, there you go. You can do that for us. Pit Parry's with us.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna. Yeah.
I thought you were going to go
strippy, can we?
We've got Douglas with us as well.
Hello.
Can smooth skin Acropora do well in 100 to 150 par? Sounds a bit low. I mean, I'm definitely not the authority on sticks. But yeah, sounds a little low. Anyone else want to venture any thoughts on it?
I'd say the same. I think it will live.
My blue dragon that I've got, that's around 300 par, I think. Yeah. 250, maybe 250. Yeah.
I suppose it's better than too much light. Mind you, they can probably be acclimated to quite high intensities, but
yeah.
Get it higher if you can.
Critical Reef, good evening. Hope you're doing well.
Evening.
And there was a comment from John. He had a very good comment, actually. How far? Yeah. Hang on a minute. No, that's not the one I wanted. Where is it gone, John? I reckon he changed it. I'm sure he said, East Coast Reefer, we should go out and inspect how they collect them.
Oh, yeah, I can see it.
Yeah, that's maybe the wholesaler. Yeah, maybe I read it wrong the first time around. I thought he was suggesting that me and John went out and inspected.
Wouldn't that be nice?
I quite like the idea of that. But.
That's what Stefan is going to do, right? He's going to go and... Is he going Bali, is it?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Be interesting to see how it's all done.
Oh, so Woody's Reef, Evening Woody's Reef, says 100 to 150 is okay because it's a deep water acro.
Nice.
Interesting. What have you been up to this week, Harry?
Quite a lot, really, with the tank. I've installed the blades up there, so made a little mount for those. Really chuffed with those. Again, it's primarily just to the eye and to look at. It's a bit of a nicer spectrum, a bit of a more well-rounded spectrum. I found that the Reef LEDs, although you can add in the white, they're just a bit too blue saturated to the eye, and the blue from the blades is a lot more of like a I guess a sky blue versus a royal blue, and it balances that out really nicely. And then because I've got the glow on there as well, that creates a really nice kind of purple shimmer at the same time. Down from the mayonnaise. There's a plate on the side with mayonnaise on it. I have also set up the automatic water change, which may or may not be the cause of the bloops.
I haven't heard it in a little while.
No, it's kind of diminishing, I think. I think there was probably just air caught in the airline, but we'll soon find out. What else have I done? I've run some more dosing lines because I'm now dosing homemade alkalinity as well as the calcium, magnesium, and then calc as well. Yeah, just moving stuff around really to accommodate all those changes. So yeah, been a busy boy with the tank. What about you, Steve?
What did I do? I've done so Monday. I went to a guy in Clacton, which is 15 miles away from here.
Yeah.
He goes around the country buying tank breakdowns. If someone's getting out of the hobby, he'll just buy everything off of them: livestock, coral, equipment, tank, the lot. So he'll drive around in a big van, go and pick it all up, and then bring it back and kind of break it all up and then sell everything off. So he had a MP40, which you can just see here.
Oh, yeah.
So I went over there to pick that up, just to try. I've never had one. Wanted to try it out to see what all the fuss was about. And yeah, it's quite impressive. There's quite a lot of flow you can get through it. But while I was there, they had a very nice looking Monty. I could tell it was a Monty, but I didn't know what one. And there were lots of different variances of it, and you could see that it had been fragged and then put on frag plugs, and the frag plugs had been arranged in the way that the actual coral was, because you could see the colour transitions over all the different frag plugs. And I got talking to him, and that's what I picked one of those up. It was only a tenner. Picked one of those up and got it in the tank, and it was a Sunset Montipora.
Yeah.
And it's
Is that the red with yellow polyps? No, that's sunburst.
It's blue with yellowy goldy coloured polyps. But when you looked at the whole coral, it changed throughout it. So some patches were green and yellow, and other bits were blue and yellow, and some of it was red. It looked really, really nice.
Very nice.
So yeah, I accidentally tripped over and bought another coral. This is on top of the one that I got from my LFS the other day, kind of accidentally on purpose.
You got to start filling out that tank, Steve. You got too much dead space.
Yeah, there's. If I move out the way, it'll focus on it. There's just too many gaps, I think. And then the weeping willow that I got from Lee at Love to Reef has now grabbed hold of some rock, so that's ready to stick on in the tank. So yeah, I mean, I am pretty full. Yeah, need that new tank, don't I? Yeah. And
Any
then, of
news
course,
on the new tank?
No, nothing on the new tank yet.
No.
But this one,
fun little project you got going on there.
Yeah. So I bought some more sandpaper for it, and thought I'm just going to have another crack from scratch again, from scratch, and try and get all these scratches out. And I picked up 180 grit sandpaper, which is brutal. And I was just kind of sanding through, and I got all of the deep scratches at this time. And I went over it several times, and I got some water and splashed some water on and wiped all the dust out and checked that I definitely got the scratches out. Took, I don't know, probably another 3 hours with 180 grit sandpaper to really properly, thoroughly get them out. I've now done 3 discs of 240 grit to kind of smooth a bit more out. I've just gone around the edges. I need to have a look at it in the daylight tomorrow to see what that's looking like. Then I need to do it a little bit more with 240 grit, then 320, 400, 600, and work my way out. But as you get to those, once you've got off of that 180 grit, it doesn't take as long. So each one that I'm doing seems to take less time to get that finish nice.
Okay.
So yeah, the cheap tank, I've probably spent what I saved by buying the cheap tank in sandpaper alone. And I've also spent hours doing it. So yeah, I mean, it's what am I aiming for high point? I think the highest grit I've got is 2000 grit. But I've then got like polishing sock and some polishing compound. So it's not bad. There's been a few comments about how thick is it now. It started off 8mm thick. I kid you not, it takes a lot of work to sand glass down. Yeah, I mean, I'll be surprised if I've managed to take a whole millimetre off it. That would be I don't think I've come anywhere close to that. And Matt said, would I buy another scratch tank? Would I fuck? There's no way I'm going to do that again. The problem is, because I started, I've got something wrong with me mentally that won't let me stop.
Yeah. You almost want to accidentally, you say you keep tripping, you almost want to whoops and then have to buy another one.
Yeah.
Is it massive, Steve?
Yeah. Sorry?
Is it massive underneath?
The 180 grit is, dust everywhere.
Yeah,
I was doing it, was it last night or the night before? I think it was last night. I spent a good 2 hours doing it. And I kind of got in bed and I went like that, and my hair, it's like I had hair gel in. You know, your hair's all like clumped together because of all the dust. I was like, this is me, and I've got to go and wash that out now. But yeah, it was one of those things where I kind of, because this Reefer 250 has got some scratches in it, and I thought, okay, so this tank's a good little one to practice on, won't interfere with you know, the stocking and everything, and I can have a good practice and learn a new skill.
Yeah.
But yeah. Yeah. Did I wear a mask? Yes, I've got it over here. So I had that on. I really wouldn't want to do it again. Definitely not.
No.
Yeah, so I have been. I've got a little. That is here as well. I've got a little Makita light that I'm using. Which I just kind of using that to go over and check to make sure I've got the scratches out. So that was what I messed up the first time round. I ended up doing it in the evening and looking just by eye, and it looked like all the scratches were out. So this time round, I've been sanding it and then getting the torch and the different angles and checking. Yeah, pretty confident I've got all of the major scratches out. As I'm now moving to the finer grits, I'm starting to see some of the lesser scratches. So I'm kind of going round and getting rid of them now. But yeah, what a faff.
We've all enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Well, it's not seeing when it's full of water.
Yeah, well, that was I spent hours on it the first time round, and I went all the way through the grits, and I didn't spend enough time at the lower numbers to get the major scratches out properly. So when I got to the end, it still looked a bit crap. And then I thought, hang on a minute, I haven't put any water in this yet to check it's watertight.
Right, yeah.
So I then filled it up, made sure it was watertight. Yeah, so I'm happy with all of that. So yeah, I just need to kind of make sure I want to get this front panel done, and then really see to make sure I've got everything, and then I need to do at least one of the side panels, because even the side panels are scrapped. It's absolutely mental because I've got it laid on the front at the moment. When I look at the back panel, which is the bottom, it is scratched to hell. I don't know how they've managed to do it.
I think they were using their frag rack with the coral still on it to wipe the glass down.
Yeah, it's like they had like this gigantic glass cleaner magnet with like covered in spikes that they buried in the sand and then dragged backwards and forwards. So it was in the sand when they did it, and it scratched the bottom as well.
How big is
I
this
don't
thing?
know. It's a Reef for 170.
Oh.
So it's a reasonable size cube. It's 170 litres total.
What are you planning on doing with it?
So at the moment, I've got a Fluval Evo next to me that I had a Papuan Toby puffer in, or still have a Papuan Toby puffer in. It's now got a friend because it's got my bicolour angel in it because the fucker was eating my corals. So those two are in that at the moment, and it's a little bit small for him. So the idea is get that sorted and move them into there, and then the Fluval can become a quarantine tank.
Yeah.
But, oh, yeah. What a faff. And yeah, Centropage says, shine the light down the glass edge. That was one of the tricks that I've been using is getting it on that kind of edge of the glass and kind of shining down and seeing if I've missed any.
Shining any light and just not looking at it and pretending it's not there.
Yeah, but that wouldn't solve the problem.
Fair enough.
So yeah, that's where I am with that. Have I been up to anything apart from printing the little frag cages?
What filament is that? Is that like holographic? Or was that just a light?
It was like bits that I've been using up.
Okay.
So this is a two colour. So it's black and gold.
Yeah.
And it was blue when I first started printing, and then I ran out of blue filament and went to the gold. There was one that I printed after this one and before this one that changed colour halfway through. It was green and then blue. But
nice.
I hadn't cleaned the bed plate properly. So when I got up to the higher bits, it hit as it tried to print, it moved it, and it wasn't adhered properly. So it just lifted off of the base and made spaghetti for me.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a good idea. Turn it into an NPS tank.
Don't turn the light on. Yeah.
Yeah, good idea. Is there anything else that you wanted to talk about this evening, Stuart?
No, I think I've been through it all. Yeah.
Where can people go if they want to purchase some of your coral?
They can just turn up here or go on the website. We're on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram. Yeah, so we're on all of them. Yeah, so I will drop me a message. It'll either be me that gets it or Amy that gets it. The only two. So yeah, you'll get one of us.
There you go. There's the website.
Lovely.
Yeah, I don't think I've got anything else to add. Let's say comment about the never heard of the angel police before, only the tang police, so everything's fine.
That would be good.
Yeah.
A bigger one.
I don't think I've missed any questions. I've been trying to keep on top of them. What's everyone's thoughts on the comments on the screen? That would be interesting to hear. Whether anyone thinks get rid of it or I don't know whether it adds much really.
I like the logo. I'd pay $80 a month for that.
I'll send you the invoice. Yeah. What was interesting actually on the Reefers Network one when they were doing the competition? No, it wasn't that. It was on the Reef Dorks one. I could see when the comment was placed in the comments and how long it took to show on the screen, and that's when it appears to everybody in StreamYard. So it seems that it goes onto YouTube first and then is updated on StreamYard. It's the delay on it is huge. But yeah.
That's a good point. When watching it on TVs, Dan said it's better. Then you don't have to have your phone, I suppose, as well as.
Yes, yeah, good point.
Good point.
And I think it makes it better if you're watching it back, not live.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Because although you can pop out the comments, they're not open by default.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, splitting opinion, isn't it? Because Central Pikey likes it, Dan likes it, Lee likes it, Liam likes it, and then Roxanne and Hayley don't like it. Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, it'd be good to have them on screen during competitions.
Yes.
That'd be good.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Okay. I think we're at the end. Don't see. I thought I'd give that last bit of talk just to try and see if there are any more questions, but I think that's all of them. Thank you very much for joining us, Stuart.
No problems. Thanks for having me on.
No worries. Thank you very much again, Harry, for coming on. And thank you everyone for tuning in. I hope you have an amazing week, and we'll see you all next week.